Hey, happy rainy morning to you guys. Um, the internet is full of influencers and folks with a particular shtick. For example, DeLauer, Berg, and what's the other bloke's name? Can't think of him right now. Mike Munsell. They have things to sell. They have their own supplements. I mean, they don't. Well, DeLauer pushes it. I mean, he just absolutely, and he makes no bones about it. He says, "Hey, I'm in business here." Okay. Berg says, "Yeah, in full transparency, I do have a supplement for that." Munsell, his videos are brought to you by his own sister company. I can't think of My Science or something like that with an X instead of an S or something like that. I don't want to misquote it. So, but look up Mike Munsell if you want to go and get some of what he sells. Dr. Ekberg just teaches. I mean, he preaches it, man. Old school board, now a video display. He clicks through his presentations, 20, 25 minutes. Best in my opinion. And Dr. Barry is like neck and neck with him because though he doesn't have the old school board, he has pretty quick 5-7 minute videos on numbers of things you need to be careful of, this and that. Dr. Fung has always been big on intermittent fasting, and here's where I want to go with this. Fung almost says, I don't care what you eat, I mean, as long as it's non-processed, and do fast. Okay, and that made sense to me very early on, and I agree. The longest fast I'd ever done is 5 days. I mean, after birth, I had never not eaten for 5 days before, but the cool thing is I know I can do it. And I know I wasn't hungry, and I know I could probably push that to 20, 30 days if I needed to, like if we get in this food insecurity problem. I don't need to top my blood sugar off. As a matter of fact, my blood sugar, if you ask most doctors, they're going to wonder why I'm not dizzy and passing out. My 3-month average, according to my A1C, was low 60s, 62.9. And I think it's read again in milligrams per deciliter. All right, that's at least the system of the Americas. The British system's a little different. And so the latest craze is on this, is fasting really necessary? You know what? I don't care. Okay, I've been eating 1 meal a day for almost 3 months, if not more than 3 months, during our hot season. And that's strictly because I don't like going to bed on a full stomach when the interior of my room is 88 to 90 degrees, which is cool because all I really need is a fan and a wet towel draped from pretty much my collarbones down to my navel, and that's quite cool. Yeah, because when it gets that hot, it normally is rather dry. And now, like I said, happy rainy morning, we're pretty much drifting into rainy season, which means the humidity comes up a little bit, but you don't get those super high temperatures. So so fasting, it's essentially not eating. Drink water, maybe apple cider vinegar, some black coffee, black tea, and apparently there's some really good effects on your body in accordance with this thing called autophagy, and that's the body recycling material. Okay, so it goes out, looks for viruses, it goes after bacteria, it goes after loose proteins, it goes after trash and garbage that's kind of floating around your body, and goes, we don't have calories and you look pretty delicious. Come on aboard, let me make something out of you. So essentially, we have a lot of rebuilding going on, which was evident in my in one of my liver enzyme tests, way below spec, which means I have zero necrosis going on in my body. So I can almost confirm that my body's rebuilding after all the damage I had done to it over several decades of certainly insulin resistance, if not full-blown diabetes 2. I know right there at the end I was diabetes 2. I can put a picture up. So fasting for me isn't much as a goal as it is a consequence. So, for example, yesterday I had 6 eggs, 3 pieces of cheese. I mixed my bottom set of eggs with about a link of chorizo, about yay long. And then I made this General Tso's pork. I changed chicken for pork. And per serving that thing, I did add a little bit of cornstarch as a thickener because I calculated it's not, per serving, it's not that many grams of carbs. So it turns out that I probably had 10 grams total carb. And it didn't quite top me off in the satiety department, so I went ahead and ate several pieces of chicharron, the cracklins, and that did the trick. And then, of course, by bedtime, I'm not, stuffed. And I never feel, trust me, I make that face, but I never feel heavy. Full, yes. The body says, yes, you're full. You don't want to eat anything more. That's okay. We have it covered. And but you're light. You're energized. No food comas ever. It's the most amazing thing. And then I won't eat at dinner time. And of course, I go to sleep. I wake up. Woke up before my alarm again. Yay me. So good 15 minutes actually. I just popped awake. Okay, I'm done sleeping. And haven't even had my coffee yet, so I'm this springy before coffee. Go figure. And that I've reduced that is actually pretty cool because I feel like I'm a little more bouncy in the morning before I've had my coffee than when I used to overdo it with the caffeine. I guess my body was like, dopamine crashing or whatever for the caffeine. That's no big deal. I feel great now. Really good. And I only drink 200 ml now. So it's, I don't know how many fluid ounces. Do the calculation. Just divide it by about 28.3-ish, somewhere in there. So that's that. So again, fasting isn't really a thing that I do. It's a thing that happens automatically because of what I do. And as the days cool off now, I may decide to eat sanus, which is fine. I'll eat around, depending on when my classes end, I'll either eat at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And if I'm not, crashing till 10:30 or so, that's okay because it'll be cool enough to where, I don't need to worry about it. And that's if I'm hungry. If I'm not hungry, then of course I won't eat. And if I really get to the point where I can't sleep because of a full belly, then I'll transition that meal into a brunch at about 11:30, 12, where I'll eat maybe 3-4 eggs or something. Then I'll eat another 3 or 4 eggs before I eat at 2. So I'll still be maintaining a 20-hour window, which, it's just no big deal. And then there's people going on about, I work out a lot better after I've eaten than when I'm fasted. And for me personally, the level of activity I do, the resistance training I do, doesn't matter either way. I do fast on trips. I find it's wonderful. I'll eat the day before. My daughter's getting married. And she lives about 3.5 hours away. I'll have to double check it. I know by bus it's about 4 hours. So driving, I can probably pinch an hour off that time. But still, wake up, grab my coffee, and we'll hop in the car and ski-daddle the hell out of here. But we'll get there even before I even know I'm supposed to eat yet. So we'll get there maybe. I'd like to leave at the crack of light there, since I'm traveling south. The sun will come in on my driver's side window, but it's not a big deal either. It won't get high enough to do anything. Plus, ever since I've been on pretty much low carb, high fat, I don't burn anymore. I go out, I'm nice and tan. Of course, my daughter says you're really red, but yeah, I guess I tan red. But I get out in the sun as much as they can. Now it's cloudy, so but at least infrared hits you, which is also a good thing. Who knew? So that's another thing too, guys. Remember, not to talk about anything I'm not supposed to talk about, but when you have a severe albedo, and that means it's cloudy and the rays of the sun are reflected back out into space. If I remember correctly, some UV does come in and some infrared does come in. So you can still get out there on a cloudy day and get your vitamin D, and you can also get this infrared, which according to Dr. Berg will penetrate into your skull of several inches. So your brain feels the heat. In other words, if you feel heat on your skin, that means the infrared light is hitting you. And when it's cloudy, and if there's high pressure pushing it down, right, the adiabatic, it's a technical physical term, but it literally says if I have a volume and I compress it, I will automatically increase the temperature. So some of our temperature increases are due to what we call high pressure or superior air masses, in conjunction with clouds, in conjunction with the infrared that does come through and help heat the air. Well, why is it cold then? Well, because it's raining. If it's cloudy and raining, the rain actually sucks heat back out of the air in order to turn it into a liquid. But I'll let you guys call that up. It's a lot of fun. Discussion for another time, I guess. When I'm allowed to talk about it, I can explain all the physics involved. I am a meteorologist, military trained, thank you very much, along with a physicist and a mathematician. Yeah, I do. I've done, will do wonderful things on this planet with the life that I've had, I have, and I will have left, maybe. So anyway, finally out the door, this fasting thing. I recommend it, especially if you're large and you do have literal body fat to lose. Learn to eat a lot of food all at once, and make sure you do not skimp on the fat or the protein. All right, eat big fatty cuts of meat. Within weeks, you will just go for the fat. I mean, there's a time when my daughter and I, my second daughter, who follows kind of sort of what I do. I guess she's pretty low carb. We like, do you want your fat? Yeah. Do you want your? Yeah, of course. Duh. I mean, we look for the biggest, fattiest chunks. And a lot of people who really are living on glucose are like, all fat. No, man. In about a week or two, when your body like switches over the machinery, you're going to be like, dude, where's the fat? And you're going to be just throwing butter on everything. Oh, delicious butter. And no, I'm not making myself hungry. As a matter of fact, one of my therapies, if I am hungry, is I watch food channels. It satiates my eyes, I guess, and I focus in on how to prepare it and everything. So it literally takes my mind off of food. Ironically, it's some of the best tips I can give you on how to prolong a fast. So that's that. 13 minutes today. Wow, fun. But I'm not monetized and stuff, so I have nothing to sell. And I'm going to be transitioning this channel now over into a coaching channel. Yay. So I'm still going to have my same snarky personality and my same quick wit and cutting remarks and things. That's just who I am. That's how I do things. With a little wink and a nod. And is there a little truth? Yeah, of course, there's truth in everything. But I try to keep it light, airy. Hey, look, if I don't say it and you don't learn to laugh at it, you might really, really get hurt if somebody says, oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'll go blah, 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 blah ahead of them with a wink and a nod and a big hug and kind of inoculate you to their ridiculousness. And you learn to find out who your sources are. You know, some big fat guy's telling me, you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, you're right. Enjoy the foot amputation. See what I mean by snarkiness? Enjoy the foot amputation. So on that happy foot amputation note, more snark. I guess I'll leave you guys. You guys have a great day. And don't worry about the fasting thing. It'll take care of itself. Be well.